با درود فراوان به شما بینندگان ارجمند. خوشبختانه امروز مهمانی ما داریم به نام آقای علین یادگار که البته ایشون انگلیسی صحبت میکنن، ولی کاری که انجام میدن بسیار مهمه به اشخاصی که معتاد هستن به مواد مخدر یا الکلیک هستن یا اینکه پرابلم‌های روحی دارن. دستگاه ایشون، شرکت ایشون کمک میکنه که دارای متخصصین هستن، دارای دکترای متخصص و در اینجا مهمان ما هستن. Very welcome, Mr. Allen.
Thank you so much for having me, Rabbi. So I appreciate you having me over, and I think it's time that I share with everybody exactly how I got into this field, why I do what I do, and why I feel it's so important that our community, the Persian community, that they have an opportunity to know about what's available to them, to know that there are answers, and you're not alone, and there is a way out of this, and it's okay to admit that there's a problem. So first, I was in the military. I was in the Air Force. During 9/11, I was deployed to Afghanistan. I fought in the war there, and came back with medals and an honorable service and an honorable discharge. And a couple years later, I got in a car accident. And when I got in the car accident, I hit it at a very weird angle, and I injured my neck really badly. And the first thing they gave me was pain medications. So I was a 25, 24-year-old kid. They gave me pain medications, and after 3-4 weeks, I went back to the doctor crying. I said, I can't take it. The pain is unbelievable. I need more different medicine, or do something for me, doc. So he gave me stronger medicine. 3-4 weeks later, I went back. Doc, it's still not working. I'm in a lot of pain. They gave me stronger medicine. Before I knew it, I was taking the strongest medication on the market, equivalent of what somebody with stage 4 cancer would be taking. And your body very quickly adapts. At the time, they were telling everybody it's not addictive and it's okay to prescribe these medications, but truth was, I got very addicted and it was intolerable. So, in 2008, right exactly today or tomorrow, right around my birthday time, I ran out of this medication. I went to the hospital to get more, and I found out they wouldn't give me any. And I got very, very, very sick. Not knowing what to do, I called my dad. Dad took me to a doctor. To make a very long story short, I struggled really hard for over a year to get out of this condition and to get off of these medications. It took me actually 2.5 years to completely get off of these medications and to get clean and get my life in order. But I'm living proof that you could do it. And after having done that and experiencing this for myself and seeing how difficult it was and how little everyone knew about it, even the doctors that were trying to treat me knew very, very little about it. They didn't know what the right medicines were. They didn't know what to do for me. My family didn't know what to do. I had nobody to turn to for advice. And after coming out of that, I kind of realized that I take it upon myself. It's my duty, I feel like, because I know the answer, to help others. And so several years ago in 2013, 2014, I founded Vitae Treatment Center. This is a place where we help people get off of their addictions, whether it be prescription medications, street drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex addictions, shopping, food disorders, parenting, whatever it is, we provide help for mental health and for addiction, for behavior in general. And I feel that it's something that I hold very close to my heart. God gave me a second chance, and I feel like it's my duty to give other people a second chance. So I've created an organization where everyone there has experience in this field, are experts in this field. We have psychiatrists, psychologists, marriage and family therapists, social workers, drug and alcohol technicians, certified drug counselors. I mean, whatever you can think of that would apply to this field that could help somebody get out of this condition and fix their life and get a job and start contributing to society, we have. And we're probably one of the best in the country at what we do. And, I've taken the opportunity here to partner with Rabbi here and and have a forum and a place to come and talk and explain to our community that even though we have such a stigma and we have such a bad feeling about talking about addiction, it's very prevalent in all of our families. Everyone is dealing with something. Every family I know has somebody in their family that is dealing with something. And nobody's talking about it, and nobody's dealing with it, and they're letting that person suffer alone, and the family is suffering. And, I think it's important that we all recognize that there is a time and place to talk about this, and there's a way to treat it. And help is out there for you, and we're the ones to help you. We're the first call you should make. If you're, sitting at home right now and you're watching this and you're thinking, man, I know my husband has a problem. He's drinking vodka every night when he comes home from work, even though he's very successful, which is the most common thing in our culture. Even if you ask ChatGPT, it'll tell you. The most common thing in our culture is that we have very highly successful individuals that are functional alcoholics and drug users. And that eventually is going to be a problem, right? And I think your first source of help is reach out to the rabbi, reach out to my number, reach out to the institution that's listed at the bottom of your screen here, and there's opportunities and there's help for you, and we can give you some guidance. And that's what I'm here to tell you about.
I know that you're doing a very good job in your field, but what make you to decide to do this for the people? And you're helping people. I know that you put a lot of time for this field.
Yeah, I take it very personal. I think that I give you an example. If we went on a walk together and we went hiking and I tripped on a stick and I fall, I'm not just going to keep walking. I'm going to stop and say, hey, Rabbi, be careful, don't trip on this stick. And the guy behind you, I'm going to wait and say, hey, don't trip on this stick, and make sure that the people behind me don't fall also. And I help everybody get by. And I think that's just, we're all God's children, and we all need help, and we all need to hold hands and help one another. And so I took it very personal, and I feel like there's very few people on this planet that share exactly my experience. That, all of us, especially Iranians, we all have some sort of trauma in our background. I'm half Armenian, half Assyrian. My family is from Iran. We migrated to States when, the revolution happened, and I fought for this country. And so I know that we have a lot of traumas that are unresolved, and there's a lot of these problems, and the only way that I see out of it is for us to help one another. And I think that's done, through religion and church, and it's done through institutions like, Albert Einstein that you're founded, and through people like me and the, organization that I run. So, like I said, I take it very personal because I think that there's a lot of stigma around our families and our culture, and we don't talk about these things, and I see how much families are struggling, and I think that we really need help.
Nice. Very nice of you. آقای آلن یادگار، ایشون بسیار زحمت بکشن که به اشخاصی که داخل دراگ هستن، معتاد هستن، یا اینکه الکلیک هستن، یا هر پرابلم دیگری، هر گونه ناراحتی دیگری که وجود داره از نظر روانی، واقعا شرکتشون بهترین خدمت را به جامعه دارن میکنن و خیلی ها را حتی خوب رفتن و معالجه کردن که بسیار مهم بوده. اگر اشخاصی هستن خدا نخواسته توی کمیتی ما که اگه محتاط هستن یا احتیاج دارن که کیور بشن، حتی اگه خدا نخواسته بچهای شما، اگر فامیل شما، حتی وقت تلف نکنید، فوری با ایشون تماس بگیرید. شما تلفن ایشون رو، این شمارهش را لطفاً اونجا بنویسید. شماره ایشون اونجا نوشته شده. Please announce your telephone number.
Yeah, it's at the bottom of your screen, but our website is novavitaela.com, and the phone number is 213-706-3329. You can also obviously reach directly out to Rabbi Nourani, and he can put you in touch with us too, especially if there's a language barrier. Please call him first. But there's so many success stories that I can tell about what's happened over the last 15 years or so that I've been in this field, and and I love to see them, and I love to hear about them. I can tell you one kid that comes to mind particularly he was a Armenian kid, family from Iran, Persian Armenians. They came here, folks work in a normal business, dad has a body shop, mother is a hairdresser, and at age 14, this boy, because like all of our families love us, give us money, we have a little bit of money in our pocket when we go to school, he had enough money to buy Xanax every day from his friends. And half a Xanax once a weekend became 1 Xanax a day, became 2 Xanax a day, 3, 4, 5, to the point that it was completely out of control. By the time I met this child, he was 17 years old. He had been hospitalized twice, had 4 seizures, 2 overdoses, and caused himself brain damage, and was on his way out. His family was already at the point where they're going to say goodbye to him very soon. And to make a very long story short, it's actually a happy ending. The kid came into our treatment program. He did residential treatment, so he did not go home for 3 months. He stayed with us. He was monitored 24 hours a day. We gave him medication. We gave him therapy. We taught him why he has a purpose on this planet, why he deserves to be here, why he should love his parents, why he should love God, why he should love his community and get back on his feet. And he became very inspired by this. After he came out of the residential treatment, he did outpatient treatment, which is something that I think is probably most viable for our culture. Nobody wants to go and check into a rehab or to a hospital setting and not go home. You want to eat mom's cooking. You want to have ghormeh sabzi at night. I know what it is, and sleep in your own bed. But he did the outpatient treatment with us for almost 6 months. Following that, one night he called me and said, Alan, you've changed my life, and I want to be like you, and I want to change people's lives. So we helped him enroll in school. We helped him pay for it. And he went and he became a registered alcohol and drug technician. We got him a job in a rehab, and he's been working in rehab for 5 years now. And he's clean, he's doing well, his parents are doing well, and he's a great success story. And I have a ton of these. There's another Persian Armenian kid that from Iran. His parents came here during the revolution, and he went through the same type of thing. By the time he got to me, he was 22 years old, deeply involved in opiates, using pills, smoking pills, snorting pills, and to the point it got where he was actually using heroin also. And long story short, after 6 or 8 months of treatment, he got his life together, got back on his feet. This was 7 years ago. He just came back and did a 20-minute talk for 15 of our patients in our outpatient rehab, and he was telling them, first of all, he rolled up in a Porsche, brand new one. He was wearing a Rolex, and he came and said, I'm getting married in 2 months. This is my fiance. We bought this house. I'm opening a sober living. I'm continuing to do what you taught me, and I want to help other patients as well. And this is passing it on, and this is what motivates us to do it. And it just shows that, with a little bit of love and a little bit of support and a little bit of not being shameful of what's going on in our lives and in our families' lives, there's opportunity, and these things can be fixed, and we can put people back on track, and they can rise to be a star like you never imagined. So that's the reason that I do this.
Very nice. البته اگر شما کسی را میشناسید که معتاد هستش و به ایشون با آقای علی یادگار مراجعه کنید، اولا خیلی اشخاص متخصص و خیلی از دکترهای متخصص با ایشون همکاری دارن و میتونن مداوا کنن، خیلی عالی. و در ضمن این را بدونید که سیکرت هستش، یعنی اگه هر کی که بیاد خدمت ایشون که معتاد هست، یا الکلیک هست، یا از نظر روانی ناراحتی، یا از هر گونه ناراحتی که داره، به هیچ وجه این بیرون نخواهد رفت و فقط تو قلب خودش نگه میداره. خیالتون راحت باشه که به هیچ وجه هیچکی نخواهد فهمید، چون من میدونم که به هر حال ما ایرانی‌ها یه غروری داریم که دوست نداریم که همه کس بدونه که ما چیکار میکنیم. به ایشون واقعا از اون نظرها نامبر وانه و خیلی سیکرت ها نگه میداره و کارش هم درجه که هم خودش هم آقای الکس برادرش خیلی زحمت میکشن و جای بسیار زیبایی هم دارن در خیابون ویلشر بولوارد و به نظر من اگر لازم هست میتونید مراجعه کنید، هم جا رو ببینید، هم ایشون رو ملاقات کنید. شاید بتونید که انشالله اگه اشخاصی هستن که معتادن یا ناراحتی دارن از نظر روانی بتونن معالجه بشن که خودش هم یه ثواب بسیار بزرگی هستش.
Rabbi, that's a very good point you brought up. Very good point, and I think that's definitely worth mentioning. Discretion is everything. And I can tell you, I know for a fact in all of our families, nobody wants to admit that there's a problem. Nobody wants anybody to know there's a problem. No one wants anybody to know that you're having a financial issue or a problem with your wife or a problem with your boss or drugs or alcohol or whatever. I can tell you over the years we've treated some of the most famous celebrities you can think of, doctors, judges, lawyers, congressmen. I mean, whatever you can think of has walked through our doors and has been treated, and nobody's ever found out about it. We sign a lot of documents with you, and you sign a lot of documents with us that are non-disclosure, that guarantee your privacy and no one will know. Part of what we do that's very, very unique and special is typically if you are in this situation and you call your insurance number or you call another rehab facility and say, hey, I need help, what do I do? They're going to tell you have to go check into a place for 30 days. Well, checking into a place, obviously, your friends and family are going to notice you're gone, and your job is going to notice you're gone, and clearly nobody wants to leave their lifestyle to go and get clean. The thing that we can do for you is we can do a medically managed, rapid detox that typically takes 5 to 7 days. So if you're drinking every single day and you think you don't have an option, for 5 to 7 days, you still will live at home. You will still sleep in your own bed. The only thing that you will do is every day come and see our facility staff. Come and see our doctors. Come and see our medical folks. And we'll give you the correct medication. We'll tell you what time to take it, how to take it, what to eat, and so forth, and monitor you every day to make sure that you're comfortable, you're not having withdrawals, you're not having anxiety, you're not getting sick, you're not dealing with any of that stuff. And very, very quickly we fix the problem. And in some cases, far be it from you, but if you're dealing with a child custody issue, if you're dealing with a divorce issue, if you got a DUI, if you got in some sort of trouble, we're the first person you should call. We'll show up to court for you. We will very discreetly, without anybody knowing, treat you quietly, get it all done, and get you back on the road and give you a clean bill of health with a completion certificate along with a clean drug test so that you don't lose everything and you can fix your life. This is something very unique. We even offer things like at-home private detox. So if you're not willing to go anywhere, you're not even willing to walk into our office, but you need help, call us. There's a way to do that. We can send medical staff to you. We can send doctors to you. We can send nurses to you, no matter where you are. Anywhere in the country we can do this. We just opened a new office on Ventura Boulevard in Woodland Hills, right off of Ventura and Shoup. And again, you don't even need to come there. If you feel like you don't want to be exposed, you don't want anybody to see you pulling up to a place. By the way, there's no signage. No one will know where you're going, but we have that option. As far as how to pay for the treatment, well, we just recently are able now to take Medicare. So if you have a friend or family member that's taking too much prescription medication, they had a back surgery and they're taking some stuff, or they're over 65 and they have Medicare and now they're dealing with grief and loss because their husband, their wife, their friends, their cousins, their brothers and sisters all are starting to pass away because of age. This needs to be treated, and we're the ones to call and we can help quietly, discreetly, without anybody knowing. We can help, and it will be probably zero out of pocket because your insurance will cover for it. We take every other insurance under the sun. No matter what kind of PPO insurance you have, please call us because we will make it work with very little to no out-of-pocket cost if it's possible. Typically everything is covered. If you have no insurance and you think that there's no way out, we work on a sliding scale, which means when you fill out your application, you tell us how much income you make, where you live, how long you've been living there, how long you've been working or out of work or what's going on. And based on those figures, they negotiate and change the scale of what you're going to pay. In other words, if you're a very famous movie star, you're probably going to pay a pretty good amount. But if you're, on Medi-Cal and living on your parents' couch and you have no money, we're going to work something out for you at little to no cost. So, again, if you're struggling, there is a way out. Rabbi Nouran's foundation can help you. If you are sitting at home and thinking, I just want to donate, I just want to help, please reach out to him. Please donate some money and let us help these kids, because not only do we get them medicine and get them therapy and do all of this, but we also get them clothes. We get them clothing to how to go to a job interview. We teach them how to make a resume. We teach them how to talk at the interview. I've even been known to go with them to the interview to make sure they get the job, because if they can't talk for themselves, I'll talk for them. But there's a lot of help at your fingertips, and I just want everybody to know that it's out there, and you can just reach out to us. It's a simple phone call. Our phone lines are open 24 hours a day. Typically, I'm the one always who gets the phone call directed to me, so the dispatch knows already that I'll take the call 24 hours a day. So please reach out, ask for me directly.
If you'd like, we listen to music.
Yeah, absolutely.
گرفته شاخه خشک پیچک تنهایی یاد تو هر تنگ غروب تو قلب من میکوبه سم من از با تو بودن غم تلخ غروبه غروب همیشه واسه من نشونی از تو بوده برام یه یادگاریه جز اون چیزی نمونده غروب همیشه واسه من نشونی از تو بوده برام یه یادگاریه جز اون چیزی نمونده
باز هم اعلام میکنم که جناب آلن یادگار که دارای یک شرکتی هستن که به معتادین کمک میکنن. البته این محیط جدیدی باز کردن، قبلا در توپنگا بودن ولی حالا در ونتورا بولوارد و شوب. البته من اشتباه کردم گفتم ویلشر، نه ونتورا ان شوب هستن. میتونید اونجا مراجعه کنید، آدرس هم میدیم خدمتتون. ولی اگر هم نمیتونید اونجا برید به منزل شما میان یا به اداره شما میان و حتی تا اورنج کانتی یا جاهایی که نزدیک هست مراجعه میکنن به شما که بتونن به معتادین کمک کنن. حتی شاید هم تا سن دیگو و خیلی جاها برن مونده که به کیس، ولی بدونید که ایشون میتونن، قدرت دارن که بهترین خدمت را، بهترین کمک را به اشخاصی که معتاد هستن، به اشخاصی از نظر روانی ناراحت هستن و حتی اگر خدای نخواسته ناراحتی خانوادگی دارید، بین زنها و شوهرها دعوا هست، بین بویفرند و گرفرند دعواهایی وجود داره، دستگاه ایشون میتونن به شما کمک کنن. انسانهایی هستن متخصص، اشخاصی هستن تحصیل کرده، حتی بعضیشون دکترا دارن و میتونن به این ناراحتی های شما درمان بدن به صورت بسیار سیکرت، خیلی مخفی که هیچ احدی نفهمه، حتی منم نمیفهمم. یه طوری خواهد بود که ایشون میتونن بیان ملاقات کنن یا شما ایشون رو ملاقات کنید و به شما کمک خواهند کرد. Please continue and give your telephone number and how you can help people.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I think parents particularly don't know how to recognize is, how do you know if your kid is using drugs? What are the signs? What would you look for first? Well, first thing you'd look for is change in sleeping patterns. If they're sleeping far less than before or sleeping way more than before, this is a very, very good sign that something is going on. Isolating. If your kid used to hang out in the living room, used to talk with you, and now all of a sudden they're always hiding in the room and the door is closed, this is a sign. If you're noticing their grades are slipping, obviously that's a sign. If you notice that their friend group has changed, all of a sudden they're hanging out with new friends that you don't know, it's not the same kids from before. If you notice that financially they're unstable, either they're asking you for more money or whenever you see their money situation has changed, which doesn't always mean they have less money, sometimes they have more money because they're dealing it to their friends now. These are the first initial signs to look for. And I think a big problem is we overlook this. As our culture, parents, we overlook these things, we see them and don't think nothing of it until the problem is too big. But the point I'm making is, as soon as you notice these things, even if you don't know how to approach and talk to your child about it, or your loved one, if it's, for example, your husband or your wife or your brother or your sister, if you don't know how to bring it up, the first thing you should do is call me, 213-706-3329. Let me have an opportunity. You can always set up a consultation. You could always ask for advice. The phone call is free. Call me and ask me what I recommend or what my doctor or psychiatrist or psychologist recommends. No one's ever going to know that you called, and waiting one day too much might be one day too late. The sooner you act, the more chance there is that this person will recover. So waiting is the worst thing that you can do. Denying is the worst thing you can do. And the second thing I wanted to tell everybody about Rabbi is, if you get in trouble, or your son, daughter, husband, whoever it is in your life that you love gets in trouble. What do I mean by trouble? Is either kicked out of school, or if they're a driving adult, they get a DUI, or a possession charge, or even shoplifting, stole something from a store. Any of these kinds of things that happen, we're not attorneys. However, I do have access to all of the best attorneys, and I can help refer you. And more importantly, we will show up to court for you. We will appear for you for free. What does that mean? That means if you got a DUI and your attorney calls us or you call us, we will appear to court. Our psychiatrist, our psychologist, myself included, will write letters for you and say that, hey, listen, this person only made this mistake because they have an alcohol problem, or you caught them, judge, they got caught with drugs in their car because they're addicted to drugs, and it's not by choice, it's a mental health issue, and the person is trying to get help. So please don't put them in jail, please don't ruin their record. My success rate is 100%. I've never had somebody go to jail after we appeared in court for them, which says a lot. And so I think if something like that is going on in your life, the first move you should make, pick up your phone, call me, 213-706-3329. Ask me what to do, and I'll give you the best advice that I know. Again, we're not attorneys, but our signature and our word weighs very heavily with the court system. And most of the judges and most of the courts know us very well. And again, we'll appear for free for you. So it can't hurt. Those are the two main things that I really wanted to put out there for you, is that if you're seeing signs at home, don't ignore them. Say something right away. Call me right away so that we can help you intervene and help you fix that person's life that you love so much. And if it's your own, and you know that you're having a problem, and you're hiding it from your family and hiding it from your wife and your kids and everybody else, you don't have to do that anymore, and you don't have to silently suffer. You can just simply pick up your phone or get on the website and let us know and give me an opportunity to help you. Because we do know the answers. I guarantee it. If you follow what we tell you, I guarantee you will win. I guarantee you success. It's just a matter of if you want it or not. So, just wanted to share that.
Very nice. در حالی که ما هدف اینه که بخوایم به جامعه خدمت کنیم، هدف ما خدمت به جامعه است. از نظر مالی اگر اشکالی دارید که نمیتونید به دکتر مراجعه کنید یا به ایشون مراجعه کنید، از اون نظرها وقتی به ایشون مراجعه کنید همه ما کمک میکنیم که بتونید معالجه بشید. یعنی کسی که واقعا پولی نداره هنوز ما کمک میکنیم که معالجه بشه. ما به خاطر پول کار نمیکنیم. ولی اگر خب کسی میتونه پول بپردازه خب باید بپردازه. ولی اگر یکی هم هست که واقعا اشخاصی هستن که پول ندارن ولی معتادن یا ناراحتی روانی دارن، خب هدف ما خدمت به جامعه است. میتونید مراجعه کنید. ما تا اونجایی که بتونیم 100% به شما کمک خواهیم کرد که کیور خواهید شد. حالا هر کی که هستید، از هر جایی که هستید، هر دینی که دارید، هر مذهبی که دارید، ما اهمیت نمیدیم. همه ما انسانیم. بنی آدم اعضای یکدیگرند که در آفرینش یک پیکرند. چو عضوی به درد آورد روزگار، دیگر عضوها را نماند قرار. تو که از محنت دیگران بیغمی، نشاید که نامت نهند آدمی. هدف ما خدمت به جامعه است. هدف ایشون هم خدمت به جامعه است. خودشون هم گفتن به زبان انگلیسی. و این را بدونید اگه کسی را میشناسید که پول نداره و یا اینکه ناراحتی داره، 100% مراجعه کنید. من به شما قول میدم که ما بالاترین کمک هم میکنیم که حال ایشون خوب بشه و برگرده به خونه مشغول کار و زندگی خیلی خوبی بشه. به هر حال ما از این نظر هیچ گونه مضایقه‌ای نداریم.
That's perfectly said. Rabbi, the last group of folks that I wanted to talk about is, I mentioned earlier about people that are on Medicare, people that are over 65. This is a group in our community that's very neglected, that nobody really ever talks about what's going on with them. And one of the main things over the last 20 years that I've been in medicine and urgent care and in treatment and rehab and mental health and all of this, one of the main things that I've seen in that group is over the course of 5 or 10 years, you might go see one doctor for your back problem, and he gives you some medications. Then you go see another doctor for your shoulder issue, and he gives you some medications. Then a year later, you have a kidney issue or some other illness, and you go see another guy, and he gives you some medicine. Then 2 years later, you go and see somebody because you're fighting with your husband, you're fighting with your wife, you're dealing with depression because your friends are dying or whatever's going on, and they give you some mental health medications. Well, now, after 5 years of seeing all of these different doctors, none of the doctors know what the other doctor gave you for medicine, and you're taking all of them. I see patients all the time. They're taking 6 different medications for their blood pressure. They're taking 3 medications for their back. They're taking 2 for their kidneys, 2 for their stomach, 1 because their foot goes numb, 1 because their elbow hurts. This is a very dangerous thing and can have long-term consequences. And most people don't know how to consolidate this and who to talk to about it, which doctor. They think that the last doctor that they saw was the best doctor. And nobody really talks about what's going on. One of the services that we can offer for this age group and people that have Medicare is the first thing we would do is have you evaluated by our psychiatrist and our medical doctor, who are both psychiatrists and the medical doctor are MDs. But they will go through all of the medications that you've been prescribed, what you're taking, how often you're taking it, how long you've been taking it, why you're taking it. They'll compare all of those medications and see, are any of them having adverse reaction with each other? Are any of them maybe redundant and you're taking something that you're already taking something for that and now you're taking the same thing again? Or are any of them causing you a harmful long-term effect that could be avoided and you could take one medicine instead of 4 medicines, and this one is going to help you much better than those 4 without causing long-term kidney damage or long-term liver damage or any of these things that happen to us as we age. So the first thing we would do is have you evaluated and do what's called medication reconciliation. That's where we go through all your medications, make sure that you're taking the right ones, the latest ones, the best ones, and the healthiest ones for you without overtaking medication. Once you've accomplished that, at the same time, we'll do a psychiatric evaluation with you and see, are there any issues such as grief, loss, depression, anxiety, insomnia, appetite changes, if you're unable to eat, if you're having a hard time sleeping at night, or you're sleeping too much, or you're sad, you feel lethargic, you don't want to leave the house, you don't want to do the things that used to make you happy, you don't want to be around your friends, you don't want to exercise, all of the things that happen as we age and we go into this stage. We can help you with all of this, and you don't have to come to an office, you don't need to go anywhere, we can do it from your home. We can even give you access to a tablet or an iPad or something like that and set it up for you, so you just press one button and you sit in front of your screen in the comfort of your own home and talk to your doctor or your therapist and have these problems worked on and resolved. I think this is a huge thing. So whoever's watching this, if you are that person that's in that age group and you have Medicare, this relates to you. If not, most of us have a parent or an uncle or a cousin or some loved one that falls into this category, and the first thing you should tell them to do is call 213-706-3329 and give us a chance to help.
در اینجا لازم میدانم که به شما اعلام کنم بعد از 4 جولای، چون حالا همه فکر تعطیلی هستن اینا، بعد از 4 جولای در محلی که در ونتورا و شوب تقریبا جا داریم اونجا و محل بسیار زیبا و قشنگ هم هست، ما داریم سمینار میگذاریم از تمام خانواده ها، حتی اشخاصی هم که در اعتیاد نیستن، اشخاص معمولی هم خوش اومدن. ما سمیناری داریم میذاریم که اگه میخواید شرکت کنید مجانی هم هست. شما تلفن من 310-927-0526 یا با من یا با شما تلفن 213-706-3329 میتونید تماس بگیرید جا رزرو کنید، چون جای ما فقط فوقش 60 نفر بیشتر جا نمیگیره که اگه بخواهید میتونید تو این سمینار شرکت کنید که اگر یه وقتی خدای نخواسته دوستان شما، فامیل شما یا هر کی در دراک هست یا الکلیک هست یا اینکه خب شاید باشن شما ندونید، پس بیاید یاد بگید که اگه خدای نخواسته یه وقت اتفاق افتاد که چه کار میخواید بکنید. میتونید بیاید از این متخصصین یاد بگیرید که چجوری رفتار کنید، چجوری مراجعه کنید و انشالله که هیچ وقت لازم نباشه. ولی ما در خدمتون هستیم برای یک سمینار بسیار عالی و ایژوکیشن در این بابت و آموزش در این بابت که خیلی خیلی مهم هستش. شما تلفن 310-927-0526 یا 213-706-3329 جا رزرو کنید و تشریف بیارید. رایگان هستش و ما در خدمت شما خواهیم بود بعد از جولای 4.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. در اینجا از شما عزیزان خداحافظی میکنیم. با یه ترانه شما رو دعوت میکنم. لطفاً با ما باشید واسه برنامه بعدی ما. شب و روز به همه شما خوش.
דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה.
לך דודי בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת נקבלה. דודי ירד לו מכרמו ופרי גפנו הביא עמו פרחים כתב לו בדרכו ושיר לו בלבבו.
חמה שקף במערב וכבר מעל זרח כוכב מלא שבת הדרת זהב איש איש לאוהליו
ובשבת הוא יזמר בחיל ברד שירי הלל לאלוה בעל טוב ונחת. ידע עוזרני אל חי להכניע
אלי אלי עוזרני אל חי להכניע
אלי אלי
את יצר המפתח המריח את יצר המפתח המריח
מבלתך אין מושיע להושיעני מבלתך אין מושיע להושיעני. כולם איתנו יא בבא ביי 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 יא בבא ביי 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 יא בבא ביי ביי
יא בבא בבא בבא
יא בבא ביי ביי ביי
יא בבא בבא בבא
יא בא 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 יא בא. אחכה ימים שישה לבואה של המלכה לא עמל לא דאגה.
بگیم که ما هر جمعه از ساعت 4 تا 5 بعد از ظهر همراه